and
surgery is
craft,
common,
beer
and
and
requires a
wine.
mesh product to be implanted inside your
Yeah.
body. It may have to significant cash compensation. Call the Hernia Mesh Helpline now at
We still got no
800-245-5187.
headphones
Our
after.
experienced attorneys will fight to get you the
Okay.
compensation
Wait a
you
minute, I
deserve.
might be able
Pay
to
nothing
find
unless
one.
we
Hang
get a
on.
recovery in your favor. Time is limited to file a
May not be
claim.
an issue
So call
next
the
week. I'm
Hernia
getting
Mesh
a new phone
Helpline now,
Tuesday.
800-245-5187.
the cord that we
Operators are
bought.
standing by 24/7. Call
He'll be way out there yet.
800-245-5187. 800-245-5187.
Yankees fans crushed as the Houston Astros came
Good,
through with a 64
good. The
American
only
League
thing I care
Championship
about
Series
in all of
victory
baseball
to advance
is
to the World
the
Series.
phrase, the New York
manager
Yankees have been
Aaron Boone
eliminated
hoped for
from
a
World
different
Series
outcome.
contention.
I want to say congrats to
There was
Other
a
than
story-
that,
and the
I don't care
Astros.
one
They're
bit
a
about
great team,
baseball.
There was a
obviously,
story
and,
about the guy
they made a couple more
making a
plays than we did.
$3.5 million
Astros manager
casino
AJ
bet.
Hinch says he's glad
Record
they didn't
bet
have to
that
play
Houston
in
would
Game
go all
7.
the way,
To
and
win as
them
fast as
being getting
possible.
close.
That was one is to get a little bit of rest before the World Series, and number two is it's the easiest way
That's
to
why I
line
didn't
things
hear
up
anything.
moving forward.
Game 1 of the World Series set for Tuesday in Houston against the Washington Nationals. Australia's flag carrier Qantas completed a non-stop test flight from New York
What
to
the
Sydney.
hell is wrong with
See how the
that
world's
headphone?
longest potential commercial airplane journey impacted pilots, crew, and passengers.
I don't know, these were
The
laying
Boeing
up here. If you just
787
want to
Dreamliner flew
leave the
non-stop,
adapter in and plug those
19
in.
hours, 16 minutes.
Let's try it.
I'm Robert Kusak.
How would you like
Oh,
to
that's
get
got
paid
ugly.
eating
I
healthy
ain't moving too fast.
I wasn't expecting that.
or paid for
I'm
running?
expecting
See if there's any sound
When you
in it.
get life insurance through Health IQ, it's like
Yeah.
getting paid for living a healthy lifestyle.
Well,
Because Health
just-
IQ is
But
the
I just
only
picked
life
this one
insurance
up and
company
didn't
that
hear
can
any
save
sound
you up to
either.
41%.
So is
for
there
Oh,
like
that
the master
explains
volume?
that.
You do. That means you can get
There we go.
$100 in
Yeah,
coverage for as
you have to
little as
turn it on.
$36 a month. That's huge savings.
Morning, John.
If you could qualify, jog a few times a week. You could qualify. It really is that simple. Flash easy. Only Health IQ rewards your healthy lifestyle choices with special savings. Up to
Yeah, Mike,
41%.
you're gonna want to get
That's why
gussied up
Health
next
IQ was
week.
awarded the Better Business
Wow.
Bureau's highest rating.
Pixel
To
3
shop the
phone
top
that I've
30
got,
life
the
insurance
best
carriers,
camera on
plus
the market.
Apply for Health IQ's exclusive healthy lifestyle savings. Go to healthiq.com/easy
Be like-
to get these amazing
All those
savings.
news people when their stations went to a high def
Easy now.
signal.
HealthIQ.com.
They all the news anchors were like, oh, my makeup's terrible. in high def.
I have a technical question for you. Why is it when they call a news conference, you still hear clack, 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 all them damn shutters on the cameras?
Because,
Have they not gone to digital?
professional,
Thunderstorms are likely with highs in the mid-80s.
They can get better quality with digital than they can get on film.
1065.
they'll tell you different.
Talk
And
1065.
You
maybe,
couldn't even
and
hear what
maybe
the
they
people
can
were
get better.
saying.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Gordon Deal. Coming
They
up
probably
on
just got
Vaping
that music in,
vaping
that
better
sound
than
in, so it sounds like an
It's a
old-timey
loaded
press
question that can be
conference.
answered multiple
and
ways.
that's
Also,
a
trying to
problem.
pick stock
The
winners
phone,
isn't necessarily
you
the
all
best
kinds of
approach to
ringtones.
improving your
Call you
investment success.
ringtones.
Here, a more
So y'all
efficient
got
approach.
Arkansas this
Plus, how a
coming.
Tennessee teacher
Huh?
has brought
Y'all got
tears in front
Arkansas
of her
this
young
coming.
students
Yeah.
and improving
Then
the
you gotta
image
buy.
of tarantulas.
And then
That
who
and
do you
more
play?
coming up on this
Is it
weekend.
LSU?
LSU.
Sunday afternoons at 2 on
Taylor
FM
High
1065.
The minimum you're gonna be done is
All right, are y'all ready? Famous portraits smiling up on it.
Well,
Or you want a rundown of the best
the
bus
thing is,
spots
we
in
gotta,
the area, like at
we
Did you bring us some
With a
paychecks?
combined half-century episode, they bring their wealth of
Man,
experience
you're
to
looking
bring you
for
the
a
latest trends, expert opinions, and interviews with people in the know. They are the dynamic duo of dining.
yes, we are.
It's a food and wine show, trust me. Here, sip and chew. It's wine and food. Because chew rhymes with stew. That's the only reason. You glorify and fry cook. Great.
I'm gonna turn the mics on.
Now it's time to sip and chew.
They're on.
with Mike and Steve on FM Talk 1065.
Hold up. Hold up, Mike. Now do it. Oh, that was Stu.
Yeah, that was Stu. On Mike's hot? Yeah. Oh, okay.
I did
Not the one
say-
sitting
I-
next to me.
I did not say that.
Okay. Yeah, you did not. That's why I was
I
asking.
said I'm gonna turn on the microphone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he turned on the mic. Okay. Yeah, I get it. So, okay.
You feeling turned on?
Hello. Hey,
Can you hear me?
Hey, man.
Hey,
like
can
my
you hear
new
me?
Bubba cup?
Is that a Bubba cup?
Yeah. That,
Are you a Bubba?
well, here's the thing about a 2006. The Yeti wasn't invented yet.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
the cup
hard to
holders
believe.
don't hold that size drink.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go and buy a new cup that does fit the old style cup holder.
Yeah.
So that's it. It's a Bubba.
Yeah, that's also called a petty style.
Okay.
That's what we call the petty cups, where the bottom is more narrow than the top, and it fits in the cup holder.
And what it's called is bass-ackwards engineering.
Or you could just drink it all before you got in the car.
This is something that has long well, no, this is so I don't cough during the show.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Well, see, they did that to fit a 12-ounce Budweiser can.
Yeah.
Or Miller
that
Lite.
was the standard of measurement.
But the
wasn't it?
correct way to make any vessel that holds a liquid is for it to be wider on the bottom than on the top, so that it is not top heavy.
That's right.
Or to make it uniform all the way and weight the bottom. And I don't know why we don't make things like that. It's illogical.
You think differently than everybody else.
Yeah, I think about not spilling my drink.
That's right.
Hey, I bought a car one time with no cup holders in it. How about that?
I hope you got a discount.
And it was used.
And it was the finest engineering the former Yugoslavian engineers could put together.
And there was coffee stains everywhere. All over the carpet and everything. So,
hey, if anybody out there is really hungry for socialism, Google the Yugo.
Yeah. You go to Google.
I don't think they lasted 2 years on the road.
I don't know.
It wasn't very long.
Well, they were disposable. It was a disposable.
It wasn't planned that way. It just turned out like that.
Yeah. I was working for Domino's back in those days, and we had one driver who had a Yugo. And he was a big boy, and when he put a pizza or more in the car, it struggled to make it up hills. Just the additional weight, about a 325-pound boy now crammed into to the Yugo. But when he added just a few pizzas or a 6-pack of Cokes, he had trouble getting it. Yeah, he had the balance was that close.
Hey, Stu.
Whereas my truck will haul 4,900 pounds.
Oh my God.
That's a lot of pizzas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were going to say something, and I interrupted you.
I was going to welcome everybody. Couldn't tell everybody good morning.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the Sip and Chew show with Mike and Stu and Charlie and Phil and John from Fish River and whoever else we got. This has been a crazy week for you and I.
It has been a crazy week. For those who haven't heard the news, the Fairhope Market has ceased operations.
And did it make it 3 months?
No. It just
sad.
ran out of capital, and you told me you saw a sign on it that said closed for rebranding.
Well, they were trying to rebrand. That's what it said, and
Chris Sherrill and I had this
30% pop-up wine sale and 30% off on everything, and you know, it's sad. I mean, it put people on. It made people unemployed.
Mm-hmm.
And
luckily for me, only 20 minutes. I had a very good relationship. The job that I left to go there at Sim's House of Pizza, I made sure I worked out my notice and, you know, did everything right up until the end. And I messaged Chris Brill, the owner.
Y'all hear that, you young people, don't you? Yeah. You work out you give a notice and you work out a notice.
And the best 2 weeks you work should be the last 2 weeks you work there.
Mm-hmm.
You follow all the rules. And Chris was actually in Colorado on his bachelor party, getting ready for his upcoming nuptials. And he said that, yeah, come in Friday and Saturday night. I'll put you on the schedule next week. Glad to have you back. Mm-hmm. And the timing is good because he's getting ready to go on his honeymoon. So I got lucky. You know, I had a fallback, and my severance was pretty nice. 2 of the thickest Wagyu ribeyes you've ever seen. Had one for Dad. Tyler Flowers. He stopped by the meat market, grab you know, what you want, and I showed him the 2 ribeyes. He goes, "We've got some beautiful 1621 shrimp. You ought to put some of those with it." So I got about 3 dozen of those.
Dang.
Yeah, and we're having the other ribeye tonight. I froze one. We ate the other. It's big enough we'd share it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. And plus, there's so much fat content on the Wagyu ribeye that it's a lot more of a chore to finish one than it is a standard ribeye, because that fat starts bogging you down like Thanksgiving dinner before you get to the end. So it's better to.
That's when you go take a nap and come back and finish up later.
No, but I figure we just share the steak.
Yeah.
And it's over a pound. I mean, it's $45, $50.
Well, Heather's so little, she only needs 2 bites. She's full.
And that has served us well. But one of the things that I try to do to keep the weight off is I try to eat what Heather eats. She orders this size, I'm ordering that size too.
Yeah.
With the knowledge that I'm probably going to get 2 or 3 bites of that one. But it not only saves us money, but it keeps me from getting up to 330 pounds again. And so whatever size she orders, that's what I go with. We go to Whataburger. I used to be, whatever, my friends would get a Whataburger, and I go, I want the 3/4 pounder.
Yeah.
And the extra large fries. Now, whatever size she gets, that's what I get.
Right.
With the knowledge that if I'm still a little hungry, I'm probably going to get a few bites there. And it works out wonderfully. As you can see, I'm not 340 pounds.
Now, you've done an extremely well job of keeping the weight down and
yeah. And the bike riding helps, although I haven't rode it was so hot this summer.
Oh,
and then finally get a week where I can ride, and it rains every day.
Yeah.
Which is, good grief, man. They could not have been worse predicting weather this past week if they had to. And I realize the atmosphere changes. These things are unpredictable, and that's why all this man-made global warming stuff you have to take with a grain of salt, because the science just isn't there, does not exist to support any evidence for it.
I love it when the weather forecaster on TV especially, he'll say, it'll be 71 in Fairhope, it'll be 72.5 in Foley, and it'll be 70 in Elsinore. They have no clue. Why don't they just say it's going to be in the low to mid-70s?
That's why they're predicting and they're forecasting.
And I love the futuristic radar. They have no clue.
Yeah. But it's probabilities. Is the computer is running thousands and thousands of possibilities.
Well, I love my
just like with the spaghetti tracks on the hurricanes. That's several computers running models.
Yeah.
Several thousands of times, and you do that enough, you get a pretty good idea.
You want to know how to beat the weather computers? It's real simple. Get a dozen old guys together and walk outside, look at the clouds, and
see who creeps,
and see who has an aching elbow or knees or hips, and say, okay, that hip is about a 20% chance of rain.
I do it with my sinuses, my headache. I get headaches.
That'll let you know when humidity and barometric pressure.
Barometric pressure. I got
water on your windshield.
I used to say I got a barometric pressure headache. But get your weather rock.
Yeah,
your weather rock.
Yeah, that's okay.
Somebody gave me a thing that had a tube of water or some kind of clear liquid, and if it got cloudy and bad weather was coming in.
Well, folks,
and they paid good money.
The World Food Championships has been going on this week in Dallas, Texas.
Yes, it has.
And the Mobile area has represented extremely well.
I'm giddy with it.
Yes, 2 #1 finishes on Thursday.
Yeah.
Going with the top 10 squaring off. Dolphin Island Sea Lab, I believe, was 4th.
Davidson High School, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was Alma Bryant and Davidson together.
So when we come back, we're going to talk to 2 of those #1 finishers.
I'm so happy for these people. I am so happy for them.
Yeah, a little home free here for you.
Love these guys.
Therapy sessions. Buying drinks to buy some time. Beneath the stained glass neon lights while the bartender listens.
I feel left out this year with it being in Dallas.
I'll bring them up.
We made the decision in June. We just couldn't afford to compete this year, so we have different goals now. And here's the thing with it now. It's to a point now that if you don't have a sponsor, there's no point in it. Because it's too expensive.
Go get you a sponsor.
And I don't know that I want to be a NASCAR chef. Be a salary is what it is. Yeah. They're making the money now to justify it.
This is Roland McSherry from McSherry's Irish Pub and Restaurant in downtown Fairhope, where you can enjoy great food at a great price, meet your mates for a pint and a chat, Or
You
dance
wanna
the
talk
night
to
away
Roy
with our
first,
DJ on Friday and
off the
Saturday
air,
nights
or-
starting at
No,
10.
just hold
Try
on.
our brilliant Blarney Burger.
We'll find out with everybody what happened yesterday. Who won what?
You say you were talking to Piers at the other guest?
Yeah, one's at 8:30. Yeah, Dan Navarro.
Non-smoking inside, but we have a lovely patio with big
He
screen
got the
TVs
giant
so you can
check.
enjoy all the sporting
He
events.
won
Every
10,000
Sunday at 6
yesterday. He's
in the
got the
evening, we have a
giant
traditional
check
Irish
for
music
$10,000.
session which attracts
Wow.
musicians
I
from
wanna
New
keep our
Orleans to
relationship
Seaside,
with
Florida.
Dan.
Happy
Oh,
hour is
yeah.
3 to 6 daily,
And-
so be sure to check
and
out our website at
kind of stay with the world.
www.mcsharries.com for specials. Come on down for
But
our
I told
Irish
Chris,
Sharry's
there's no
Irish
reason.
Pub in Fairhope,
And don't forget the text line is Bob's Diner.
101 North Bancroft Street on the Eastern Shore. 990.
Did you hear me, Mike?
Yeah, we'll do that when we come back, as soon as we come back.
Just mention your sponsor.
Yeah.
We'll go
Do you
into
feel
ruling.
like the yard work just never ends?
I sent you an email middle of the week, so it may have been
better
after you
looking
checked
lawn,
it last.
less
It's just a
effort.
new
The
bump
Husqvarna
song.
Automower maneuvers around your lawn.
I
without
eliminated a lot
supervision.
of
Even
email,
over
but I don't
tricky
remember
terrain
seeing
and
one
around
from you. Do you
obstacles.
normally
It
send it
knows when it needs
to
power
FM
and
Talk?
directs itself back to the charging station.
I typed in
Convenient
CH and
control
your name
options, the
pops up.
Husqvarna
And I just hit
Automower
enter.
allows you to
okay.
set it and
I'll-
forget it.
I'll,
Even
we
from
can
your
put it on
smartphone.
next week if we
The
need to.
smartphone safety and
I really
anti-theft
appreciate
features
that.
alert
I'm
you
really
if the
not
Husqvarna
feeling good
Automower
this
is
morning.
ever compromised or
It
taken
is
outside
a
the designated
heavy
perimeter.
metal
It also
song
sends a
about beer.
GPS tracking signal in cases of death. Thanks to Husqvarna, you can have a worry-free, great-looking lawn and more time for activities you really
Surprised
enjoy.
we don't have the
Visit
song about
Robertsdale
peanut
Power
butter.
Equipment today to see how they can help you with all
Peanut
your
butter
lawn and
butter.
garden needs. Highway 59 in Robertsdale, right at the split next to Billy Jackson's Wood Barn, and visit online at
Well, we could just sing it.
robertsdalepower.com.
Yeah.
Husqvarna.
Or not.
Well, there's another song out there. It's one of those sexy songs. It's called Peanut Butter Vibes. Well, it's called something else. But there's like, wanna get those peanut butter vibes.
Utility and car trailer brands at a great price.
We could get ourselves
All with
in trouble.
semi trailers, radial tires,
the
treated wood
Clash,
floors, and spare tire
should I stay or
holders.
should I go?
Return
She said
customers drive
she's
from
had
Florida,
to do a
Mississippi,
job
and
offer.
Louisiana
She
for
don't
service,
know.
selection, and exceptional
Stay or
value.
should I go?
See all Trailer Sales Alabama inventory on Facebook and Twitter. Open every day, financing and delivery available, and no dock fees. Trailer Sales Alabama in Theodore.
Fine Bob.
Hannah Hart does Hannah Hart's Food on Food Network. Started out on YouTube. She got drunk one night. She moved to New York. Was missing her roommate in San Francisco because they used to cook together where they get drunk and then just see what's in the refrigerator. And neither one of them could cook. So she got drunk one night in New York and did a video of her doing it and put it on YouTube for her friend to see. Went viral. Now she's got her own show on Food Network.
To get on the line,
But that's what
call
she goes.
343-0106.
Remember to subscribe to me on
Now back to Mike and Stu.
Irish Pub and Grill. You're listening to Big Chew with Mike.
Who that weed? That's Chef Rob from Lucky.
Oh, okay. Hey, we want to sponsor thank our sponsors who make this show possible.
Yes.
Bob's Downtown Diner, the corner of Fat and Happy. I was down there getting Fat and Happy yesterday.
Yeah.
They were doing starting a poker run, and it was packed out with motorcycles
And
everywhere.
and on that subject, Tony had lost a regular customer this week.
Oh yeah.
John Golson, who
So
I
sad.
worked for down on the island at a restaurant, and John, we're going to miss you. I know Tony's going to miss you, and all the folks down at Bob's Diner. are gonna miss
Absolutely.
you.
I did not know him very long, but
Yeah.
it was nice knowing him.
Fun
I-
guy, always
I
a
hear
fun
that.
person to be around.
I hear that too. And we also got to thank Hall's sausage and
Hall's
meat.
sausage.
Yes. And I saw where some made it to Dallas.
The World Food Championship action with Halls. And if you want to send us a message, you text us on the I can do this. If you can't, you have not gotten it right yet. Callahan's Irish Social Club text line.
That's it.
He needs a shorter name.
Yeah. But
it's worked out for 80-something years.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but that was before we had text lines.
That's right.
All right. Well, our first caller is on the line already, and you've met this gentleman before.
I met him a couple times. I know him too, but I'm so excited for him though.
Yeah. Good morning, boy. I cannot tell you how proud I was when I saw that Facebook posting on Thursday, Roy. Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah,
It's a little in and out.
Yeah.
If you're on speakerphone, come off of it.
Stand
with 1 foot in the air.
Yeah, much better, Roy. Glad you put the aluminum foil on the aerials.
The weather's been great
I bet.
I don't think there's been a cloud in the sky since I landed here on Tuesday.
Is there any decent barbecue at all? Is there any decent barbecue or Mexican food up there where you are?
You know, I've just been totally focused on this competition. I'm staying right here. They're beating me. It's just been a wonderful experience. And they're cooking their barbecue and they're cooking the guys. There's a display with the Motor Joes.
Yeah.
And those guys bringing the food. I mean, they're cooking. They probably are cooking 1,000 pounds of meat or more a day.
That's what I loved about it yeah, that's what I loved about it down at Orange Beach. Heck, I ate every day, and there was a lot to eat.
Yeah. Well, Roy, do you remember last year when I competed in burger? I had a lot of burger meat left and a lot of time. So I made a big batch of sloppy joes and sent it into the VIP tent trying to bribe the judges.
I love
it did not work.
What happened to me over the weekend or the week? It was good. I competed on Tuesday and it was felt really good. Wednesday I got my dish turned in and they said, well, the results will be called out on Thursday at noon, and there was nothing on social media, so you had to wait. I get down there and you know, they started number 10 and worked their way down to all the way down the list. So things aren't looking too good for me. And there I am, number 1. They called my name out, and I think, you know, I just jumped up and down with joy.
I bet.
Great feeling that was.
Did you yell War Eagle or Roll Tide?
I just yelled.
Or Roll Eagle War Tide?
I don't think there was a word involved. It's hard to explain that feeling.
Well, I know everybody in Mobile was ecstatic for you.
Right.
And blew up social media here.
Yeah, and then a couple hours later, and we're going to have him on next, Dan Navarro posts, and he finished first in his category as well.
He finished first, and I went ahead. So, yeah. I know how that went. I was sitting with him last night.
Yeah, and you know, when I was at Lucky, I had a bunch of culinary grads that were working for me, and Dan had, you know, been an instructor, and they had told me that somebody had put together some big burger throwdown in Gulf Shores, and it was like Wesley True and I think Chris Sherrill and Bill Brand, and they, you know, big, huge names. Maybe Brody Olive was in it, huge names. And they needed one more slot and asked Culinard, so Dan filled in and beat all of them. All of these big name chefs, so the man can cook as well as teach.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm proud of myself. I think
You should be.
You should be.
Yeah. My best finish was 26th.
The greatest cooks in the world, and here I am sitting in number first place. You know?
Yeah. And you should be proud, Roy. That's a different venue of cooking than anything you've ever done in your life, isn't it?
It is. I'd do it tomorrow. I mean,
yeah, you know, I've competed the last 2 years and had a lot of fun, and it's very intense. And this year, just at the beginning of summer, we just started talking. It's like, I'm just not going to be able to go this year. You know, we've got too many other things working. Yeah, yeah, but we made the decision in June that it just wasn't going to be in our plans. We're trying to go to North Dakota for Thanksgiving to visit Heather's sister, and I've never been to North Dakota. And I'm just so jazzed about this because I've been to just about every place in the West, and you and I both have this affinity for the West. So I get to, yeah, and I got my 4x4, man. Got my 4x4 going in the mountains. So.
Lord, they can haul a lot of pizzas in.
Yeah. Now tell us real quick. Yeah, that was Rapid City, South Dakota. I've seen it a couple of times. Done the hike up there. Just incredible. Now your structured dish was a cubano, which I'm hearing great things about. What was your signature dish?
My signature dish, I did a southern brunch on a bun. It was a fried green tomato, egg white omelet, crab cake, smoked Gouda cheese, remoulade sauce, the right brand bacon, and a ribeye English muffin.
Oh, God, that sounds great.
Now with my cabano, I won almost by 4 points over any of the other chefs. So I mean, I took down the world food champion cabano maker, Miami, Florida, that's been winning cabano contests forever.
That's big. That's big.
Yeah, did you use salami? I know that's controversial.
There was, I did it very traditional. We had to use a Kentucky Legend ham, and
which is good stuff.
I found a pork shoulder in the deli at Walmart. Pre-packaged, pre-cooked,
That's how to do it.
I brought from home. I brought a little place over in Biloxi, and I think I've told you about eating there.
Yeah.
A bakery over in Biloxi, Mississippi. And they got the best bread. I mean, so I was like, well, I know the bread, so I brought my own bread, and that could have been it. And listen, people, when you're dealing with, especially on the level that you're dealing with a sandwich, the bread is uber important. I mean, it's critical.
Well, I've got the question. I want to ask the question that's everybody, everybody's burning to ask, so I get the opportunity to ask it. Are you going to put these sandwiches on your menu?
Maybe we'll do a special on a Saturday on the Cabana. On Sundays we have brunch, so we have the crab cake, so there's a possibility I could do that for a brunch item on Sunday with the Southern brunch on a bun. Yes.
And what did you do for your round 2 dish yesterday?
Very similar. Coop's Mustard was a sponsor.
And that's phenomenal mustard.
Sandwich that I was hoping was going to take the world by storm called a Cooply. And it's a fantastic sandwich. So I take my crab cake and again chop it with some smoked Gouda cheese with made in a shrimp remoulade using the Coop's mustard. And I made an arugula salad using the Coop's mustard. And in that sandwich, I finished 1 point higher than all the other chefs.
Wow.
With that score, unfortunately, I missed my turn-in times too.
I was wondering. I went online this morning and looked at the score and went, that doesn't make something happen there. So,
yep.
Oh Lord.
I was a little confident on my time. It really was. I probably needed 2 minutes. I needed 5 minutes. I was probably a minute and a half, 2 minutes out from turning in. I had 2 sandwiches to finish the build. I was 10 seconds from the turn-in table, but there's next year.
There you go.
That's the way attitude.
All right, we got to wrap it up for the segment, Roy. Congratulations, you made Mobile proud, folks. We haven't mentioned it. This is the guy that owns Butch Cassidy's. Get down to Butch Cassidy's Cafe, folks. And Roy, honestly, man, congratulations. I am so proud.
Good job, Roy. Good job, buddy.
Y'all keep up the good work.
All right, thank you.
You too, Roy.
We'll come back. Dan Navarro, also World Food Championships, came in first one day last week, and we'll tell you what happened yesterday.
Yeah, Alabama did pretty good.
Yeah.
AC.
Yeah. He was 10th after the first round and moved up to 6th, I believe, yesterday. So he went up to the spot.
And then they're going to hold the thing. I saw Dan's wife said, here we come Indianapolis or something like that. So they're going to hold what they did in New Orleans.
Yeah.
The final table, they're going to do it up there.
Holy cow.
What?
Dan's old boss from Culinary, Jason, is up there in Indianapolis.
Have you all gotten a new text in this morning at all?
Yeah, nothing shows up.
Okay, because I got Zipwit open over here.
This is
Trying
knock
to
on
catch
wood
up.
quick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying last, knock on wood.
Movie night. I love these old westerns.
Me too. Hand me some popcorn. I bet a couple of little fillies like you are paying way too much for your insurance coverage.
Is he talking to us?
It's been so long since I opened it on my tablet. I'm trying to get something to give us full screen text.
Wait, you're in the Old West, like the 1800s. Jack Green hasn't even been born yet.
Are you kidding me? Jack Green's been saving people money on their insurance needs for centuries. No matter what your insurance needs, Jack Green
That's the last thing I see.
They were listening to Sean's hunting show, and they were talking about how Sean and whoever, Bobby Avocado that joins them, they were talking about how all these years of hunting and stuff, they've never hit a deer.
Yeah.
And someone typed in knock on wood. I like being led into the outdoor show.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I'm
I
back to
wish
listening to the
they'd
show.
leave it on.
Yeah.
But next time the finance gurus want to come on, or the morning news show.
I always like the Wall Street Journal show.
I got bored with it, started switching to a sports talk. But yeah, I'll listen to the outdoor show. That's a good show.
The closest is over 3 hours
It really
away
is a
in
good
Dover.
show.
The shoulder of the central Gulf Coast is asking.
Hey, Bill, are you on the line?
My brother.
I am on the line, Charlie.
That sounds good.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, are you hearing us all right?
Yeah. Well, you know, there's this.
You sound good.
Migratory
Alrighty.
runs the redfish make.
There's a delay. Sounds like there's a
And the
big
route
delay.
runs
I'm
right
gonna
off
say
the tip of
snap.
Cedar
You
Point
say
Pier.
snap behind me.
So
Snap.
the month of October on Cedar Point Pier is the
Snap.
best fishing.
Oh yeah,
for
that was
redfish
about
in the
3
country.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
That was
he
2 or
lives in
3
Grand
seconds.
Rapids.
Let's
Once I get my
let's
schedule, I'm probably gonna go fishing.
let me try to reconnect here.
Yeah, and I'll
You
check
might
that.
try to reset there.
I'll check back in on the break, the next break at 4
All
or
right.
5. All right.
All right.
To get on the line, call 343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
Hey baby, I hear the blues are calling. Tossed salads and scrambled eggs. Mercy. And maybe I seem a bit confused. Yeah, maybe, but I got you pegged. But I don't know what to do with those tossed salads and scrambled eggs.
You serve it with Hall sausage.
That's
what you do with it. Good grief, Frazier. So we've been talking World Food Championships. They're in Dallas this week. They spent the last 3 years in Orange Beach. Before that, they were in Orlando. Before that, Las Vegas. So this thing moves every few years.
Yeah.
And which is a great thing.
Absolutely.
To move it around, because it was easy for Alabama to represent the last 3 years because it was right here in Alabama. And, you know, no one saw this coming, that we were, the states did, just like in football, we're dominating cooking. And on the line with us is yet another Alabama chef who went to World Food Championships in Dallas, and last week cooked a couple of good dishes. And that's my good friend Dan Navarro, who's getting ready to go visit Jason Lafferty, aren't you? You there, Dan?
I'm gonna go see him in a couple of weeks.
Heck yeah. Good to hear. Good to hear. Hey, man, Mike and I both are overwhelmed with pride for you. And wasn't your sous chef a young man that I'll want to hire in a few years?
Absolutely. My 7th grade son, 12 years old, is our team sous chef this year again for the second year in a row, and I'll just knock it out of the park again.
All right, so you competed in the chef category. Just a quick rundown, what was required this year, where did you qualify, and then what did you make? In any order you want to do it, Dan.
All right. This year I was working with a good friend of mine, Matthew Statesman. He is one of the chefs for Solid's Barbecue up in Birmingham, Alabama. We got together, we qualified, went up and won the Great Slider Showdown in Franklin, Tennessee against a bunch of folks from Atlanta and Nashville and all that kind of stuff.
In a beautiful town, Franklin.
To qualify for this.
Didn't you love Franklin? Isn't it a wonderful city?
Oh my God, it was a great town. The competition was in the big factory that they have up there. That is unreal, amazing place.
I'm going to derail you just a second. Go back to Franklin and first couple of weekends in December. Check the Facebook page with the city. They shut the town square down and do what's called a Dickens of a Christmas, and they turn the entire downtown square into 18th century London, with people walking around in character from A Christmas Carol. It is just one of the most phenomenal Christmas events in the country, and I'm going to try and go again this year. It's been years since I've been, but okay, now we're done with Franklin tourism.
One of my best friends in the world, he was my platoon sergeant when I was in the Marine Corps 100 years ago. Him and his family lived in Franklin, so we go up there all the time to visit them, and we got the opportunity to eat up there. It was even better.
Yeah. So you won the slider thing, qualified in the chefs, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We qualified in the chef competition. We came down here as Team Statham. Matt was our team captain this year, but it was a 100% team effort. None of us could have done it by ourselves. We got up here, we kicked butt our first round, our opening round, our structured dish. We had to do a roulade. All the kind of protein, bread, whatever, as long as it was a safe dish. And we had to use Miner's soup bases as our signature ingredient.
Okay. And what kind of roulade? Yeah.
A skirt steak roulade with a Gruyere cheese and a little parsley and spinach, and then we did a Gruyere stuffed tater tot. We actually made homemade tater tots with Gruyere stuffed inside of them. And then we did a mushroom bourbon sauce over the top of it.
Oh, that is incredible. And then, what was your signature dish?
Our signature dish, we did we took some good old southern flavors, some Alabama flavors. We did a seared scallop over a Gruyere cheese grit with some Brussels sprout fries. We just basically took the skins off the outer edges off the Brussels sprouts, crisp them up real nice, seasoned them real good with some rice bran bacon. That was our Henslery contest. We were in for that one. And then we made like a lemon brown butter sauce to go over the top of it.
That sounds phenomenal. And after those two dishes, where were you ranked?
After those two dishes, we were number one.
That's right. Number one, second Mobile Baldwin County representative to come in number one that day. And I know Roy was sitting with you at the awards ceremony, so I know you guys hung out.
Oh yeah, we hung out quite a bit. We were all talking the whole time.
Did y'all watch the Alabama game together?
Collaborating for next year already.
Y'all got together and yelled "Roll Tide"?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The best part is, Mike McLeod is a diehard.
That's right.
I made sure I let him know it a few times.
All right. So, since you were first place there, that's a top 10. You got to compete again yesterday. And what did you do yesterday, and what was the final outcome?
Going into yesterday, we were confident because we were first. We're like, all right, cool. Everybody's got to chase us down. But in our category, first place to 10th place is only 3 points difference. From first place to 6 points is less than 1 point difference. So we were like, all right, they're not chasing the whole bunch. We got to really put it down on the final dish to get done. So we went into the final round yesterday, and we had to use Wampler's sausage, Wampler's omega-3 sausage.
It's a great sausage.
Oh, I love that sausage. It was nice because we did a couple of demos with Mr. Wampler last year at the World Championships in Orange Beach, and he's given us a whole bunch of sausage using the demos, and then they called us for making sausage gravy last year. So I was kind of happy we got that draw.
Yeah.
And then, so it had to be Wampler sausage, and it had to be a brunch dish.
That sounds good. What'd you do?
We made like a croissant tart shell, and we made Wampler sausage, Wampler's omega-3 sausage gravy. We put that down in the bottom of it, and we cooked off some kale, like we do the collard greens down south, a little barbecue sauce, lots of vinegar, real good spice to it. Sauteed off some mushrooms, and we kind of layered it all together in the tart, like the sausage gravy, and then some of it sauteed kale and mushrooms. And then we had an over easy egg, or a sunny side up egg on top of it, and we made some Parmesan cheese wheels going on the top of it, just some crumbled bacon and sausage on the top of it as well.
Because you can't have too much pork, Dan Navarro.
Oh, no,
There's no such thing.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised you didn't top it all with a whole hog.
If we could have figured out a way to do it, we
To get it to fit on the 4 1/4 inch plate, right?
Oh, yeah, we made it all fit. I mean, the chef Marines were right there with us.
Yeah.
Just before we got ready to send it in, to make sure that our plates all fit on the table, on the tray properly.
Yeah, and not too tall. Well, when they tallied up everything, how did you finish? Did you do okay?
When they tallied up everything,
Yep.
we finished in first place with $10,000.
That's right. I saw that big old check.
You're my new best friend.
Yeah.
Man, that should be your cover photo for the next year.
Yeah.
And
The photos they took of us last night were a little interesting, and then they with my mouth wide open, and I was like, gotta get started. I think it was worth it.
and now you move on to Indianapolis, and that's where they're going to do the final table this year?
Yes, sir. The Indianapolis in Indianapolis, first week of May, I think it is.
Okay. Yeah, it was
top person for every category in the World Food Championship.
And you win that one, how much do you take home?
$100,000.
And just so you know, the current World Food Champion just lives right down the road in Long Beach, Mississippi.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Mike and I went behind the scenes in Heather in New Orleans in May and got to watch the top 10 competition from behind the scenes. And
Yeah.
yeah. Well, your phone is getting a little wanky, and you've got a family to get to. So we're going to let you get back to the Navarro clan. And Dan, once again, you know, we've known each other for years, and I've always had the utmost respect for you. You're a great instructor, and you have proven you are one of the best chefs in the world, buddy.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks, Dan Navarro, man. Man, I am so excited for my buddy. That is incredible.
Two great guys.
Yeah, two great guys, and you said the Davidson team, they did awfully well. They had a
Davidson High
top 10
School.
finish.
Yeah, they competed down there at Dolphin Island, and they got to go along with a Davidson alumni who Lou Ann graduated with. She was with them, and I forget her name right off the top of my head, but also A.C. Vincent.
Yeah,
from
good friend of mine,
Alabama.
A.C. Vincent, the redneck chef.
He won in the biscuit and jelly category. You know, folks, they got categories.
He did the ancillary, one of the.
Yeah.
I saw one of those.
Yeah.
Heather and I interviewed the folks with that Jelly Queens last year, and they had these amazing jellies they were doing. And I don't know, you probably sampled them because, like, one of them was like an apricot champagne jelly or something.
Yeah, I did.
And she made biscuits for everybody to sample. You know, just her biscuits, just made some biscuits. Well, those are the best biscuits I've ever had in my life, Mike. And I told her, I said, as good as these jellies are, you should really be pushing these biscuits. And she goes, a lot of people here have told me that. And I think she ramped it on up, and they were just, and they were tea biscuits, so, you know, for the samples.
Yeah.
Just really some of the
What
best.
brand?
She made them.
She made them.
She made them from scratch. That's just her biscuit recipe. And those jellies are phenomenal.
From scratch.
From scratch.
There you go. We're a little silly.
I know how to scratch my beard because Escher is a fan of scratching my beard for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he likes to rub his whiskers on my beard.
Well, Jude just likes knocking everything I own off the counters.
Yeah, well,
onto
you
the
got a
floor.
Hellcat, man.
And
We
watch
got
me
a
pick it
cat.
up.
You didn't get a domestic cat, man. You
I
got
had
a
Psycho kitty.
Yeah.
I had to put him in the bathroom every night.
Well, you know, they say that their personalities reflect that of their owner.
Oh, really?
No, I just made that up.
I have to defer to a kitty expert.
So, World Food Championships wrapping up in Dallas this week. I know our buddy Chris Sherrill has been out there. A.C. Vincent, you mentioned, Dan, Roy, Mike McLeod, lots of friends. The Calametti brothers been out there spearheading, you know, Team Alabama for another great showing. I think we had 25 or 26 teams this year. And that should tell you about the quality of food in this state. Over 400 chefs from all over the world, and 25 of them come from the state of Alabama.
Yeah. Diane Hill Rourke is the other lady. She's an alumni of. Oh, she was at the final table in New Orleans.
Yeah, she was at Food Champ University last year too. All right, folks, we're gonna. Oh, I'm sitting here punching Mike in the mic.
Mike's Mike.
Hey, if you want to send us something, 343-0106 to the Callahan's Irish Social Club text line.
Not seeing a lot of texts this morning.
Yeah. Bob's Diner.
Wake up, folks.
Eat at Bob's Diner.
Just know everything's doing fine down here in Launch Ladyland.
I just played for mom.
Just because you want to see Chris Farley dancing.
My head, cause my red hair is falling out. I wear these brown orthopedic shoes, cause I got a bad case of the gout. I know you want seconds on the corn dog.
First Sunday off in 2 months.
There's no reason to shout. Everybody gets enough food down here in Launch Ladyland.
North Dakota, man. North Dakota. Take my truck to North
In the
Dakota.
Old West,
Yeah, I want to say something about North Dakota.
A duel.
It's
Just
all good.
one-on-one. And Butch
We're gonna go
Cassidy's
through Kansas City on the
be
way
that
up.
again.
I saw a
Just you
picture
and
of the
our
backside of Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
The Canadians use, and it's all of their butts.
Lettuce,
So,
tomato, onion,
there's
pickles,
actually something
but
they've
just
been
the way
working
you
on
like
the
it.
backside.
It's
It's
time
an
for a
inscription.
showdown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Butch Cassidy's old shell.
Well, I want to know when the protesters are going to demand that they shave off Stone Mountain in Atlanta with all
diamond
that
that will capture her love. At the Carrot Patch Jeweler, our expert staff will guide you through our stunning selection of engagement rings and wedding sets, sure to make her passion last a lifetime. A passion that intensifies with every stare. If you can't find the perfect ring, we'll custom design one exactly for you in their new location, 800 Hillcrest Road. At
Are they doing fracking in
When
North
you find your
Dakota?
perfect match, come see us at the Carrot Patch.
Talking to my buddy Sid Sexton from Sexton Lawn and Landscape, and of course you know his company for doing great work at some of the greatest residential properties in Mobile and Baldwin County. But Sid, y'all do that at commercial properties as well. Yeah, we really take the principles from our high-end residential maintenance services and we take those to the commercial setting. High-end customer service, you know, we always have folks there that you can communicate with. We try to communicate very.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's double check. Is it
All right, let's try it. Snap.
snap?
Oh yeah, it was quicker. About a second.
It's quicker.
Yeah. That helped. It is what it is. I brought my tablet in here to see if I could get my zip working, and it is kind of, but I haven't upgraded mine, so it's working like it's supposed to instead of. I don't know, when they upgrade, sometimes they ruin things.
Yeah, it's still funny. It's I have to continually update.
Yeah, it doesn't
in order to
automatically
see
refresh, and it ought to.
It's crazy. And then sometimes you don't get to see you don't get to see the messages.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
crazy.
Well, anyhow, let me
my
send the
$60
audio
out
back.
of this
We're on our
all.
last spot.
All right, good.
Okay, and I'll see you on top of the hour.
Hey, talk briefly before we go back on, okay?
When I got this LG,
Let's talk briefly before we go back
Oh,
on.
okay.
and it just so happened
All right.
to fit everything.
Yeah, that works fine with me.
Except
I don't think
stylus
glass
out
would
of
be
that
an
phone,
issue.
which I was never going to use.
Yeah, so here's the thing real quick, I'll tell you. I've got a lot of twists and turns in my opening thing, so
Other than that, it fits
just
perfectly.
be aware, there'll be some pauses, but it'll be okay. Just let it go.
Amazon.
It's gonna be a weird one, but it'll be fun.
I gotta go.
It's just
And
like
help
this
keep
with
Mobile
all that
funky.
and this cover thing and a kickstand on the back. So just sit up.
To get on the line, call 343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
Mention our sponsors.
Why don't you mention our sponsors?
Okay. We got sponsors, y'all, and they are fantastic people. Bob's Downtown Diner got that Bailey's breakfast going on down there.
They got their pancake menu.
And the bottomless mimosa is gonna kick
No,
off
it's not
soon?
bottomless anymore, what I was told yesterday, but it's
It has a bottom.
It's pretty cheap.
Well, now, I thought that's
It's
why all
pretty
those
cheap.
motorcycle riders came down to get mimosas.
Yeah. And they
And
use,
the poinsettias.
and man,
Yeah.
they use Billy's bacon on stuff.
Oh my God,
goodness.
Hey,
And,
it's great food, folks. Go down and don't take our word for it. Go check it out.
It's okay.
You'll know we're
It's
talking.
at the corner of Fat and Happy, but that happens to translate into North Jackson and St. Francis Street.
Yeah,
So
if you don't speak American.
that's it.
What happened to your phone? And did you?
Oh, it's just the case taken apart so that it'll.
Oh, so it'll work on the Facebook page.
Yeah, yeah.
We're transmitting on as we speak.
Live on the Facebook. Yeah, on the Facey Spacey.
And so now you can see what y'all look like.
Face space.
And you know another thing good for breakfast?
What's that?
Hall sausage.
Always.
That andouille. Good Lord, that andouille is good.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I am trying to learn to like boudin and andouille. I really am.
Why would you not like them?
And I didn't grow up with them, and you know, and I mean, I
I
didn't
love
grow
it.
up with
You've
connected
had-
sausage
you've had
either,
boudin.
but still.
You've had boudin all your life. It's called dirty rice.
Okay, well,
It's
yeah,
essentially
yeah.
what it. In fact, I have done a quick cheat on dirty rice before when I bought boudin, boiled it in water, then pulled the boudin out, boiled more rice in that water, then cut the boudin open, and just that was the rest of the dirty rice.
I stayed at a B&B in outside of Slidell, right on the tip end south, real south on the water, on the Gulf, and this real Cajun guy, and he was French Cajun, and he told me, he said, now this is why it's got, I didn't understand it, and then when he explained it to me, I started liking it. But I don't cook with it, I don't, I've never bought any, so I guess I'm just not familiar with it. I'm not.
You know who I bet is familiar with it?
Oh, I know.
Hey, before you go to John, I just wanted to mention one thing real quick. You're talking about going to North Dakota.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, I've said this theory before that if Aztecas or one of those would go down to Cozumel and set up on the cruise ship dock, they would have a blazing business. It would just be killing it. If you went to North Dakota and opened a Sweet Home Alabama barbecue shack, I think it would work. Besides that, there's probably a lot of Alabama folks up there fracking.
Probably with a Cuban sandwich like Roy makes.
Well, yeah, but take some food from another part of the country, and it usually gets some attention.
Well, let's bring John from Fish River on and say, John, can you believe that Mike is having to learn to like andouille and boudin?
Boudin, I figured that would be right up Mike's alley.
Yeah.
You take boudin, take a nice full length and wrap it in bacon, bake it in the oven.
Or deep fry it.
Till it's done. You'll know when it's done.
Invite Boudreaux over for boudin.
Yeah, when the bacon is crisp, the sausage is done.
And his buddy named Charlie.
from Thibodeau.
What's on your mind this morning, John?
Delivered Chase of Sanborn coffee. Where can I find it?
Ooh, I hadn't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah, but I understand it's pretty good. And there's a guy I know up in Central Alabama. He said he hasn't had it in years. He said it's some of the best coffee.
What's the name of it again?
Chase and Sanborn. It was a very common supermarket brand. As
Really?
we say back in the
At
day.
first I thought you said David Sanborn, and I was like, the saxophone player makes coffee now?
But we digress.
Have you Googled it, John?
Yes, I have, and it just gave me some pictures of Chase of Sanborn, and yeah, we did that a couple weeks ago, but we couldn't find a retailer.
You asking about that?
Anymore.
You asking about that reminds me. I've been looking for a product called San Francisco Salt Company, and they do a cherry smoked sea salt. And I remember being a kid here in Mobile, in the Mobile area, and you could buy San Francisco salt.
Was this
cherry
This
smoked
was
sea
right
salt?
around wartime, right? Right.
Which war?
Civil War.
I think
But
so.
you can buy this, and I checked with RZA at Food Pack, because you can get anything there.
Yeah.
And
There's
it was
that.
not, and he said he could order it, but he did not have it, because I want to try that cherry wood smoked sea salt.
Okay.
From San Francisco Salt Company.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, so.
See where that would make a real big difference in the salt.
And it's not anything you're going to cook with. It's not a cooking salt. You'll lose all of that flavor if you cook with it. It's a finishing salt.
Yeah.
And, I've had a few smoked salts, and honestly, I could not tell that they were smoked. It just tasted like salt.
RZA's got some great ones.
Yeah, I probably
He's
need
got
to try
some
them.
great
I'm
salts
sure
from all over
mine
the
came
world.
from, I don't know, Pottery Barn or someplace. On discount.
While we're on spice and seasoning, Mike got a question for you. Do you remember that spice pack I brought you from
Yeah.
Texas, that Bodacious?
Bodacious bean spice.
Do you remember of any particular ingredient, herb, or spice that was in there?
Something smells and tastes smoky.
Could be cumin.
But
I'm trying to put my finger on something else,
cumin.
whether it was turmeric or it was a very bold flavor.
Turmeric is very delicate.
It is very
Yeah,
delicate.
the color is straight with the. Yeah.
It almost has no flavor at all.
Yeah, and yeah, it's
Unless you use a lot of it.
yeah, which I do to get the color. But I usually use it in curries and stuff, where everything else I'm using will vary. Whatever.
every time I steam or stir fry some vegetables, I put that stuff in there.
Turmeric or
No
curry.
The
Oh, Bodacious. Man,
I use it in all vegetables.
You can't shackle a man like Mike Bailey with petty rules.
I have no boundaries.
Yeah. He does not subscribe to the mores of society.
I'm my own man.
Yeah.
With less than a minute to talk.
Yeah. He is his own man, and he will do by God whatever Luann tells him to do.
That's right. Or his cat.
Or my cat.
Why are you going to UAB?
You mean Birmingham? It's chock full of stuff. Flip Burger, wonderful Mediterranean restaurant that Marty Duncan says. Message Marty Duncan on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, anywhere in Birmingham.
Hey, John, we got to go, buddy.
She literally wrote the book on eating in
There you
Birmingham. Literally.
John, we got to go, man. Provolone, fella, and
provolone.
Folks, get out there, support local, be local, buy local, and provolone.
Provolone.
Hey, you talk so fast, and we got to wait on the singers.
Oh, do we now?
Here they
well,
come.
Once again, yes. That should be an infused dish at World Food Championship right there.
Bye, y'all.
Provolone.
Bye-bye, y'all.
We gone.